out on the kegs and stuff like that. So now it's like walking or riding a bike. You make sure that you give that artist what he wants. Because he wrote the song to sound this way, and you got to play it that way.
The next question here, and this might be, we can do this in two parts.
Okay. You know what I'm saying?
The high and low parts being out on tour, and then the high and low parts touring with somebody like Cody. Let's start off with a high point of while you're out on tour. What's the most memorable moment you had being out on tour with Cody?
Probably the most memorable moments is when the show was clicking, because I'm like the quarterback. Basically, I have to call the shots when he's. I have to be ready to call everything. When the show runs smoothly and the people respond, and you can hear the roar of the crowd loving the music at the end of every song, and then my sticks are cooking up the next song. When it runs like a machine, well-oiled, and it flows. It's all about the flowing of the entertainment. That's the most, and when it's like that, it's just great. Nothing goes wrong. There were no problems. Everybody hits the right notes. Everybody gets in sync, and you're one. See, musicians, you have to play like one unit.
Oh, it's like a well-oiled machine.
Yeah. Once that happens, and you see the crowd react, it's heaven. It's heaven.
Now, as far as particular shows that you've done, was there any one show that really kind of maybe stands out and think back about it a little bit?
Oh, yeah, the Riverbend
show?
Yeah.
Kind of highlight a little bit. What was the highlight of that show?
Well, it had been built up as he is the up-and-coming songwriter in Nashville. He's been built up. We opened for Eric Church, who was already a national artist. And we didn't know if we were going to get a lot of people there. It turned out that there were between 5,000 and 10,000 people there for that show. And they loved it. From the first note, you could feel the chills in your body. And the day that I don't feel that that nausea, exhilarating feel where the first note, that's when I'll get out of the business. And I still get it now. Even at my age, I still get it.
We did a big build-up on my radio show about that particular Riverbend and about a bunch of the other shows that Cody's done. And this is a question, like I said, a lot of musicians or drivers, whoever we interview, may not want to talk about, but low point in your career, not just with Cody and the band, but low point in your career. Was there ever a time that Bill thought maybe that you just weren't good enough to be on the road, or you wanted to maybe step back a little bit, kind of regroup your thoughts?
I did go through that because there was a colon cancer scare with me. I got sick in 2007 and had to have some surgery. And realized then that it was really precious. You know, life is really precious. The surgeon said, I don't know if we're going to get it all. If you have it, it's going to be another surgery. But it turned out to be negative. Everything was, I think they call it benign.
Yeah.
You know, and we got rid of it. And the next thing I know, I'm rehabbing myself to play. That was the low point. Thinking, oh my God, if I can't do this, what am I going to do? You know, I could teach, but I don't want to do both. You know, so. But finally, after the phone call about how's your health, I said, it's great. He said, you want to go back on the road? I said, I'm ready to go. I've never really unpacked a bag. My wife gets on to me about it all the time.
So that would be your low point in your career.
That's the lowest point, thinking that I might be told I could not do this anymore.
How did, as a musician, with the talent that you have, how did you deal with that, knowing that you may not be able to do your lifelong dream or continue on what you really like to do the most?
A lot of prayer.
A lot of prayer. Amen.
A lot of prayer. I play drums at my church too, and there's a lot of young people that I try to inspire to. I just try to tell them, look, you can do this if you do it the right way. Learn the right way, and you know, I'm a spokesperson for Drummers Against Drugs and Alcohol because that kills everybody. That's the worst thing that a drummer could get involved because we're the activity part of the band. You know, if we're not on 10, the rest of the crew's not going to be on 10. You know, but that trying to be I want to set an example for young people coming up saying, you can do this, you can do this dream. You just have to stay the course. Do it the right way. And I hope it's okay to put this on the radio. Put God number one.
Oh, yeah, no, we put that on all the time.
If I didn't do that, I could not do this.
No, that's, the prayer for a lot of people, whether you're a driver, musician, or whatever it is in life.
Yeah.
If you don't have that following and the belief and the trust in the God, there's a good chance that your career is not going to be successful.
Right.
But there's one thing that I learned, and being in the broadcasting field, being in racing, being everything I've done, is you're going to go, every day is a new experience, every day is a new adventure.
Right.
You're going to hit some high points, low points, and no matter what you do. But one thing that I've kind of trained myself to do and bring myself up on is, you know, there's no such thing as a bad day. What it is we've had a moment, a setback, so let's just go. Let's just move ahead with it. But there are people that like to dwell that if something happens in the morning, man, their whole day is just shot.
You have to learn not to dwell on the negative.
That's right.
Focus on the positive, and knowing that if you put the Lord first, everything else comes into play. You know, because without Him, nothing works. That's the way it is for me. Yeah.
It's the way it should be with a lot of people, and you know, in the today we listen to people that talk about that they don't want to have the religion in the schools, they don't want this and they don't want that.
Yeah, they're taking everything out.
And everybody's taking things way out of context here. Like they want to change the Pledge of Allegiance, you know. They want to try to change the way people were brought, the grassroots of people. Right. You can't do that today. And the way you were brought up, the way I was brought up, the way Cody, all the rest of the musicians in the world, or drivers, or whoever, we all have our own beliefs. We all have our own ways that we like to deal with things or cope with things. But I think everybody has to rely on good prayer to cope with life.
You have to have it.
Okay? And everything, you got to have it. But this concert that we're heading to tonight here, we got to take right off and head down to Missouri tomorrow for another concert there, and then back to the grind and maybe back studio time and everything here. When we do these little overnight concerts, these play here one night and we got to jump on a bus and travel again, was that ever got to the point where you kind of give you a little bit of more motivation, adrenaline rush to, you know, you finish this gig, the crowd loved you, now you're pumped up, you're motivated, you're going to carry that same aggression into the next tour, the next concert you go to. You find yourself in that position.
Can't wait to get to the next place.
Okay.
Can't wait. It's always that way with me. When it gets to the point that I don't want to do it, it's drudgery, then I'll get out of the business.
What about the downtime after you do a concert? Let's say Cody say, well, we're not having a gig for about another week or so. Man, that downtime has got to just eat away at you.
Well, for me, there's no downtime because I teach school.
Okay.
So I'm a music educator.
Oh, okay.
So on Monday morning, I'm back in a classroom at 8:15 in the a.m. I'm teaching percussion for a local high school.
I got you.
I'm teaching them what to do when they graduate. So there's never really downtime. You know, Wednesday night is a rehearsal for a Sunday morning service if we get back in time, because I play drums there too. So it's always drumming 24/7 for me. There's no downtime for me. There is for some people, but I felt like, you know, that the old commercial, a body in motion stays in motion, a body at rest just goes to rest.
Yeah.
I don't want to be the rest. You know, but I do crash every now and then. I have to sleep.
You got to. What about life outside of the school and the touring, that family life? Married man?
Oh, I'm the one that's been married the longest.
Okay, got kids?
Got one 34-year-old. I have 2 grandkids.
All right. Your time on the road here, being a family man, of course you got kids that are grown, you got maybe grandkids, whatever. How has the family accepted you being on the road, traveling, as well as continuing with a full-time career? How has that affected your family life, or how has the support been, let's say, with your family?
The support is incredible. I actually was fortunate to marry a lady that likes the music business, understands the music business. She should have left a long time ago, but she always tells me, well, I was waiting for you to grow up. And I'm still trying to grow up, but I have the greatest wife on the face of the earth. I have 2 of the most wonderful grandchildren. One's 12, one's 9. And I'm actually proud to say that I'm teaching at the middle school where my grandson goes.
There you go.
And then I teach at the high school where I graduated from. So it's come full circle for me. So the family support's incredible.
Family support is there. I think that right there is a key to a lot of success in a man's career or a woman's career, is how much the family will support them.
Oh, yeah. My son is a very good drummer, too. My son is an excellent drummer.
you know, a lot of people, I think, when you get behind the scenes with yourself or some of the other musicians or the drivers and that, their personal life, a lot of times they don't like to involve their personal life because that's their separation from the tour, from the racing, whatever it is. But your family life obviously, as close as you are with your wife and your kids and the grandkids and that, even when they're not with you here, there's still got to be a close connection that you take with you on the road.
Oh yeah.
And you know I miss my wife. I wish she was with me, but I know she's got my support and I got her support and everything. So these are the things I think that are so important to an individual, is knowing that while you're on the road, you've got the support, your family's behind you, things are being taken care of, you don't have that extra pressure. And that, I think that is so important in a person's career.
It's the most important thing to me because she's known Cody ever since he started riding, which is 20-something years ago. We're the veterans, you know, my wife and I are veterans of it. We joke that Malagra has a second husband, and it's Cody, because basically we've been together that long. We're best friends. My wife is best friends with Cody. Cody's best friends with her. So there's never an issue. There's never an issue. You know, he'll call me and say, "You might want to run this by your wife. We're going to do this show at this certain day. I know you said you need to go do this. See if that's okay." And she'll think about it. And she'll call me. And she'll say, "Yeah, that's fine." Yeah. So the support is incredible. The only time if we're out on Christmas or New Year's or something like that, and the family wants to get together, sometimes that's a little hectic, but it works out good. You know, he doesn't play anything unless he consults the family stuff, because he has family too.
Yeah, that's good. Well, listen, folks, we're going to take a little short break right here. We're going to get some of the other musicians up here. We're going to get, we have Craig Reese with us today on the bus here from CRR Racing here. Of course, you know, Craig is a two-time champion from 2012 season, champion Dixie Speedway, Rome Speedway, dominated with about 11 wins this year. Craig driving the Capital Fabrication number 74. National title farm crate late model car here with success to 2 national championships here. Looking at the 2013 race season coming up here with 2 brand new cars, new engines. Cody McCarver on board with CMC Promotions, and of course National Title Fund coming back on board here, Schaefer Oil, and several other sponsors. And Capital Fabrication cars this year with Marshall Green, they racked up about 75 wins between all the cars. Of course, Shane Clanton with a $100,000 win in a dream. That is just an incredible mark and a step in the right direction here toward another success going into 2013. So, folks, Big G here with the International Dirt Promotions here on board the tour bus with Cody McCarver and the band. We'll take a short break. We'll be right back and get some more of the drivers and musicians in here. Stick around. Don't go nowhere, folks. We'll be right back. Hello, folks, and welcome back to the IDP Promotions interview here. Big Greg on board the tour bus with Cody McCarver and the band, CMC Promotions, and the CRR Racing. Big Greg here with the IDP, which is the International Dirt Promotions radio show. Right now, sitting here with me at the table, we got the lead guitar player from Cody's band, Mr. Tuck, and we're going to do a little one-on-one interview, so I hope y'all enjoy it. Stick around. Don't go nowhere. Tuck, nice to have you aboard the IDP and the tour bus. Let's get dirty tour. How are you doing this morning?
Doing good, man. Thanks for having me.
It's our pleasure. Touring with Cody McCarver. Before we get into that, let's kind of talk about your music career and tell me how you got started in music.
I started playing guitar probably when I was about 6 years old. So I guess I kind of got started just inspired by watching people. And I grew up in New Orleans when I was a boy, and music was everywhere, you know, and got inspired by that. And then got some basic lessons. My mom bought me a guitar, and got basic guitar lessons and stuff like that. And it just kind of escalated from there. I got kind of addicted to playing it all the time, and ended up eventually, going to Berklee College of Music up in Boston, Massachusetts, where I studied.
Old Beantown.
Yeah, up there in I guess that's basically
what was your inspiration, though, to get you into music? Everybody that we interview sometimes will say, well, I started off in the church choir, or I started off playing with a local guy. What was your inspiration to get you into music? And
I just always loved it. I was always, very, when my mom had me as a kid riding around in the car, or my dad or whatever, he would play Elvis Presley and Willie Nelson and Waylon and different stuff, and then my mom would listen to the rock and pop stuff of the day or whatever. whatever. And basically, what I'm just always very in tune with it. It just always really struck me. So